Hi, welcome back to Aisha Rahman Advisory YouTube channel. For those who want to listen to the full episode of this video, you can follow us on YouTube. Find us at Aisha Rahman Advisory. For any questions, suggestions or collaboration, reach out to my team at marketing@aisharahman.com. Welcome back to Aisha Rahman Advisory channel. We hope you are doing well. This week, in the middle of the week, was Labor Day. So happy Labor Day to everyone celebrating, including myself. Today is a topic that is very dear to my heart because this is a topic that I have been grooming myself for the last more than a decade lah, basically. And it's also the question that women often ask us. What is investment? How to invest? Where to invest? And most importantly, why should I, as a woman, why should I invest? Now, often people ask us where to invest. Which unit trust is good? Which stocks should I buy? ASB, tabung haji, ASB financing, mana yang terbaik for me? It is not about which is the best for you, but rather what kind of risk and reward can you take on for yourself, for your present self and for your future self. A lot of people today do not have enough money due to, pay cut ataupun unemployment, so you resort to investment because you were taught investment, every time you invest you can make money. Ya ke? Not necessarily, simply because when it comes to investment, the word itself says invest. I bagi you an analogy. Imagine sending your child to a private school since tadika, and then you move your child to primary, and then you move your child to secondary, and then you move your child to university. Imagine the growth of your child despite going to private or international or even SK. Is it guaranteed that your child will be somebody despite you investing in a good school? Similarly, with any form of investment in the market, there is no guarantee. But apa yang ada is past track record, what has happened in the past. However, in all investment instrument, there would be a tiny clause which says whatever that has happened in the past cannot be something that is guaranteed for the future, because benda belum jadi. You and I pun tak tahu kita hidup lagi tak tomorrow. So how can someone guarantee a certain return in the future? But having said that, in the conventional investment space, and when I say conventional, it simply means it is non-Islamic, right? Because majority of our followers and listeners are Muslim. So for those Muslim who's looking for guaranteed investment, let me be the bearer of bad news. Kalau dia guaranteed, especially those in the conventional space, offshore and whatnot, then it's not Sharia. When it's not Sharia, it's not Islamic. There is a form of interest, and when there is interest involved in your investment, hati-hati. Sebab apa? The lowest form of dosa when it comes to investment yang ada riba is adulting with our own mother. So very incest, kan? So jangan cari apa yang guaranteed. What is guaranteed is dosa and pahala. Dah lah, kita nak memang invest, make sure kita dapat pahala, bukan dapat dosa. Memang investment tu betul, tapi sekali tengok dia conventional, dah dapat tak ada keberkatan pula. So that's what we want to avoid when it comes to investing. How can you guarantee whether the investment is syariah or not? Always fall back to the two regulators, Bank Negara and SC. That is the best way to guarantee whether it is conventional or is it Islamic, because it will be written in the product highlight sheet or fun fact sheet or whatever sheet lah yang provider tu tengah nak issue dekat you as a form of investment. So before we look into where to invest, we want to answer the very most important question. Why should you invest, and should you even invest? If your promise 8% returns or the projected returns is 8%, you must be willing to also risk 8%. Maksudnya, if you want to gain 8%, you must be okay to also lose 8%. Okay ke? Because based on my observation, because I manage portfolio kan, based on my observation lah, especially for new investors, dia memang dengan semangat kejayaan dia nak invest, dia kata okay, I faham it's long term and 8%. Then tiba-tiba COVID happen, tiba-tiba market start to dip, especially China and Hong Kong. We know that today they have yet to recover, when US has recovered, Asia Pacific has recovered, even Malaysia pun dah mula recover. Tapi this giant China and Greater China, Hong Kong, belum lagi recover. Investor yang baru especially, dia macam, why is my portfolio declining and why am I experiencing a loss when China and Hong Kong should be the one leading? Bukan everything made in China ke? So if your portfolio is experiencing losses right now, you are meant to experience losses. Okay, tak kisah you invest kat stock market ke, dekat unit trust ke, whatever lah, right? Even ASB pun when they declared 4%, 5% the last couple of years, semua orang marah. Tahu marah tapi tak literate, tak nak ambil tahu kenapa instrument tu bagi you 4 and 5 and not the usual 6, 7 and whatever. So why should you invest? First answer the question, are you going to grow old? You and I were definitely going to grow old. So the next question that I want to ask you is, will you have enough? Have you ever calculated whether the EPF that you have, the pension that you have, and whatever investment you ada sekarang ni waktu umur 30-an, 40-an, 50-an, will it be able to serve you in your retirement phase? Know that fasa yang kita tengah sekarang, if you're like me, masih bekerja, this is what we call the pre-retirement stage. Pre-retirement stage is where we start to invest and invest aggressively. If you're in your 20s or 30s, this is the time where you aggressively invest. And where do you invest? First, understand that investment and savings platform are two different platforms. Savings platform include platform like ASB, tabung haji, fixed deposit, money market fund, bank savings tu paling hauk lah. So hopefully you avoid lah saving in bank savings. However, when it comes to investing means you can put in RM1 today, tomorrow it's not necessarily RM1, but over time it will grow and compound to become even more. Do you have the patience? A lot of new investors today yang tak cukup duit, apa yang dia ada tu takat tu je dia pergi invest, and then they expect investment tu boleh terus ganti gaji dia. The issue right now is not about the investment can grow or not. It will definitely grow if number one, it's the right instrument. Number two, you give it sufficient amount of time. Bukan hari ni invest, besok dah kaya. Kalau macam tu kita semua dah tak payah kerja, semua bank-bank semua boleh tutup. Semua asset management semua boleh tutup sebab masuk hari ni duit, besok kaya. Tak, itu scam namanya. So before you want to invest, understand risk dahulu, bukan tengok reward. A lot of people, they want to go straight, okay, you want to invest in this platform A, whatever that is, unit trust, stocks, whatever, properties, gold. How much can I make within 1 year, 2 year, 3 years? Can I make 8%? Can I make 100%? Boleh deh, tapi kena ada kesabaran. So any form of investment is meant to give you rewards, but please understand the risk. Risk means the downside. How much can you potentially stomach when it comes to potentially losing some of your capital in the short term? For example, you invest today 100,000, right? In the next 5 years, what are the risks that we're looking at? Is it 8% yang you akan rugi maksudnya, or 10%? Meaning, if you invest 100,000, are you okay to lose 10,000? 10% kan? In the next 5 years. Meaning, in the next 5 years, what if the market decline? Unit trust ke, stocks ke, properties ke, gold ke. If it declines, are you okay untuk tengok portfolio you yang you invest 100,000 first, it can be 90,000 because you lost 10%. Okay ke tak? Kalau tak okay, nasihat I simple, tak payah invest. Letak je duit you dalam ASB, tabung haji supaya you tak meroyan. And I say this with a lot of love because I see new investors especially disappointing and sabotaging themselves. They often blame agents, financial planners, banks, instrument. Tapi sebenarnya tak pernah salah pun instrumen ni. You rasa kan, kalau all the fund managers in the world kan, or asset management companies or banks kan, they can control the market. Don't you think they would control the market to continuously naik? Instead of naik turun, naik turun, naik turun. It's because nobody can control the market. That is why I say upfront before you want to invest. First, why should you invest? You should invest because you're going to grow old. You takkan ada gaji nanti post-retirement from age 55 until let's say 70, 80. Who's going to pay your salary? If today during pre-retirement stage, during your working stage when you dah ada masalah kewangan, you rasa when you retire post-retirement nanti, you tak ada masalah kewangan ke? I bet it will even compound even bigger. Who are you going to fall back to? Jangan buat statement anak-anak I ada. Anak-anak you pun tak tahu dia ada masalah kewangan ke tak. Next, understand risk. Risk means in the next 5 to 10 years, can you stomach the losses of 10%? You invest 100,000, tiba-tiba portfolio you down 90,000. You okay tak hilang 10,000? What can you do kalau you hilang 10,000 tu? Should you meroyan and then cut your losses and then simpan balik duit tu dalam ASB tabung haji? Padahal you dah invest 5-10 years. Salah siapa? Salah diri sendiri. Because why? You don't understand the market behavior. You tak pernah make time to understand. Tahu nak blame orang sahaja. The difference with seasoned investors yang memang pernah melabur properties, whatever lah kan, you try jumpa orang yang dah pernah melabur lebih dari 10 tahun. Yang dah pernah test macam-macam pelaburan, yang tahu macam mana nak stay invested. Because when it comes to investing, investing is easy. Staying invested is the hard part. Because when people see the risk of losing 10%, what do? Takut. You sabotage yourself. You kata tak apalah, I rasa I'm not made out for investment, might as well I take back this 90,000, elok-elok invest 100,000, pump back inside ASB tabung haji or savings account. That way I will not have any risk on my duit ni. When sebenarnya kan, ladies and gentlemen, when you do that, number one, you dah memang hilang 10%. Number two, bila you move back your money into ASB tabung haji, what will happen is zakat boleh cover tak? Itu lagi risky. Bila duit you macam tu, takat tu je. The real risk here, bila you cut your losses from the investment and after staying invested for like 5 to 10 years and then suddenly you lose everything, or 10% or 20%, you take back whatever capital that you have, right, after minusing the losses, and then you transfer back into your ASB tabung haji EPF. There are two risks involved here. Number one, you have already taken on the risk for 10 years, right, and then you tak boleh sabar, tak ada kesabaran, because to you 10 years is a long time. Kita kembali balik kepada analogy of sending our child to school. From 0 to 18 is 18 years. Itu pun tak guarantee anak kita akan berjaya atau tidak. 18 years you invest in your kids' education, tak jadi apa juga. At least 18 years, you baru 10 years invest in instrument kat luar sana. Second, you take back your whatever capital that you have, you pump back inside ASB tabung haji. You tak rasa tu pun risky juga ke? Risk because your reward that they're looking at is just 5%. Tolak zakat tinggal berapa je. So mana yang you lebih rela hilang? You lebih rela dapat 5% ASB belum tolak zakat, or you lebih rela tunggu dekat investment dekat luar, be willing to lose 10% or 20%, but then in the long term, 20, 30 years, you can make more than that. This is where financial literacy steps in, because a lot of people think campak je invest mana-mana dah buat duit. That's where you have to have more literacy lah. And especially now after COVID, times have changed, volatility is even more. Now we're going through Iran, Israel bombing each other, we're going through Palestine war, we're going through a lot of uncertainty. You cannot expect investments to give you the certainty that ASB and tabung haji have been giving you. Bagi I, ASB tabung haji ni macam basic lah, basic untuk mula menyimpan, bukan mula melabur. So where can you invest? You can invest in yourself first, and then you can also invest in unit trust. You can also invest in properties, in gold, in stocks, in, I don't know, if you use Samsung like me, buy Samsung. If you use iPhone, buy Apple. Banyak sebenarnya pelaburan kat luar, I feel, but why aren't you investing? So you see, the problem is never where to invest. It's because you don't know how to invest. That's the problem. And you don't ikut kawan, you dengar recommendation, financial planner like me, agents, bankers, and then when the investment doesn't, grow within your expected timeline, bukan ikut market tau, ikut your expected timeline, you blame semua orang. So bagi I, it's never about where to invest, because at the palm of your hand, you have your phone, you can Google where to invest. You dah boleh letak dah duit. Duit ada. Tu isu lah. Duit ada. Nak invest kena ada duit. Because you're living paycheck to paycheck, tak cukup, right? So you don't know where to put your money. So kalau boleh kita nak muhasabah diri, apa isu dia sebenarnya? Isu dia adalah sebab tak cukup duit, betul tak? And the next issue is you are afraid of making the wrong choice. I bagi satu contoh lah. Kahwin. Kita tahu ke pasangan kita ni is the right choice? Kita tak tahu until we get married and then we experience the ups and downs kan dengan our partner. Then only we know, okay, this partner is an asset or a liability. Similarly with investment, in order to really know, of course you kena buat due diligence lah, investment tu okay ke tidak. And then second, you kena tengok, invest dulu, and then you observe the market 5, 10 years, 15 years. And janganlah letak semua benda tu dekat dalam satu instrumen je, itu yang you royan. Because hari-hari check investment. You should have a diversification of investment. Diversification means like a cake kan, belahkan, slicekan dia. Sini mungkin sikit gold, sini sikit property, sini sikit equities, unit trust, I don't know, something else, and then ada simpanan sikit, ada tabung haji sikit, stuff like that. You should have that diversification. A lot of people, dia ada dua benda je. Dia ada ASB or tabung haji or both, and then dia ada satu jenis investment which is kebarangkalian pakai EPF, thumbprint unit trust. Lepas tu bila benda ni KO ataupun tak perform or tak ada returns based on what you were promised, dia royan, and then dia tutup benda ni, dia kembalikan balik duit tu dalam EPF, and then dia kata investment is a scam. I've been listening to this story macam tape recorder. ulang dan ulang dan ulang. That is why we built our community Women and Wealth workshop, so that especially women, you no longer mind this tape recorder. Because why? I feel as an investor myself, as someone who saves, as someone who also recovered from bankruptcy, it is time that kita wanita take the next step and stop that tape recorder and know what our options are. I want to pick one investment yang orang selalu tanya, which is properties. Imagine property you invest, right? You baru beli under construction property, at least lah you kena tunggu 3 years untuk property tu siap. And then you move in, or you don't move in, you want to rent it out, right? So investment ni untung ke tak, kita dah diajar oleh moyang atuk nenek yang investment property is a good thing, because properties are scarce, meaning we're going to run out of land eventually. True, we're going to run out of land, but is property the only investment? So you pun belilah as a first time homeowner, ataupun second or third, you pun belilah new property offered by developers kat market. And then you tengok, so this is the new property, let's say it's selling for 500,000, right, average in Klang Valley. Tapi you ada tengok tak, the location in the same area, the second hand or the sub-sale market, is it the same price as the first hand tak? If let's say the sub-sale, right, is 300 or 400, and then the new ones are 500 or 600, which is a good option for investment? Okay, my word is investment. Investment means you're not going to stay in the property, you are going to rent it out for passive income. So if given a choice between sub-sale and brand new, right, unless the brand new is being sold at almost the same price or within the same range of the sub-sale, then tak kisah you nak beli the new one. Tapi banyak property that we see today, sub-sale is slightly cheaper, but brand new is like 40% or 30% higher than the sub-sale. So kat sini lah jadi clash, sebab tu ramai orang tercedok dengan property. You should always compare within the same area, sub-sale and brand new, berapa beza price dia. If the sub-sale is much cheaper, go for the sub-sale, because you're not going to stay in the house, you're going to rent it out. So why does it matter sub-sale atau brand new, right? Unless you're staying in the house, and it makes sense that you nak beli baru, so that the longevity of the house, you tak payah nak repair, dia tak mereput cepat sangat. So kalau boleh, when it comes to properties, tengok mana cheaper for investment. Now, if you're looking into properties to buy or to rent, and then that's a different story already. And if you buy investments such as property, the beauty about property is that 5 tahun dia paksa you lock in period. I wish investments like the stock market or unit trust or gold or REITs or whatever have that lock-in period, because it ties you up supaya you tak menjual, you tak meroyan. Kalau property tu up down, you buat bodoh je, because you know that property akan eventually naik. So why don't you have that same behavior for unit trust, for stocks, for gold, for REITs and whatnot? So kalau boleh kita nak guna the same property punya behavior, ada lock-in period 5 years, we imply and impose that on ourselves so that we remain invested for the first 5 years, tak payah nak royan sangat. Boleh? What about gold investment? For me, you want to invest in gold, go ahead. When it comes to gold, there are 3 choices. Number 1, 916 yang kita duk pakai, right? Kita ada 999, and we also have paper gold. When I say paper gold, you can buy ETF, you can buy through unit trust fund. So which is the best for you? At the end of the day, it is up to you. Some of us prefer to have the physical gold in hand, but remember, when you have physical gold, nak jual balik, dia ada kos-kos penjualan balik called spread. So some spread can go as high as 10%, right? So are you okay kalau you beli gold tu 100 and then dia dah naik harga 110, kedai akan ambil 10% from 110, which is RM11, and then you dapat baki. If you're okay, by all means belilah physical gold. But today there is gold ETF, there's also gold unit trust, tak ada spread, tak ada cost bila you jual balik. It's the same underlying asset, still gold juga. So terpulang dekat you nak gold yang macam mana. Whether you want to have gold or whatever in your portfolio, you can always have gold. Remember the cake concept, you can have gold and other instruments, so that kalau gold naik or turun, dia ada aset-aset yang lain juga to balance out the losses or the gains in your overall portfolio. So can you merge savings and investing together? Savings is platform macam ASB tabung haji, investing macam gold, properties, unit trust, stocks and whatnot. Dia macam apple and orange. You know that apple and orange itself is already different. So knowing that it's already apple and orange, you can't merge these two together and expect that they behave the same way. Tak boleh. Kalau ada orang kata boleh, okay. Tapi I kata Tak boleh. Therefore, if you want apple, then go save in ESB tabung haji. But if you want orange, you want more reward, you must be okay with risk. Maksudnya you boleh lose your capital. Tapi in the long term tu how long? I don't know. We used to think that long term was 5 years before COVID happened. Then COVID happened, everything changed. Everything became more volatile. Now kita tengah tengok 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. If you're in a rush, tak payah invest. Tak payah look into all this investment yang I cakap tadi. You duduk je lah diam-diam dalam ESB tabung haji. Kalau you rasa ESB tabung haji tu cukup untuk support you from 55 till 80, then so be it. Tak payah nak masuk investment and then condemn everything. Tak payah. Because you cannot stomach the losses, then tak payah buang masa you. Tak payah you nak sakit jiwa, right? Save je dalam ESB tabung haji. However, if you're someone like me, someone yang memang tahu ESB tabung haji ni berapa banyak je kita boleh simpan dalam ni and berapa banyak je dia boleh bagi, then if you're open to invest, cari ilmu dahulu. Invest in yourself. Join us at our upcoming Women and Wealth Workshop happening end of this month, 25th of May. Tickets dah tak banyak dah. VIP pun dah nak sold out. So come and join us at womenwealthworkshop.com.my. Get your tickets there. We're still running our buy one free one. There'll be 9 bonuses that you're going to get, especially if you're in VIP seats. So bring a friend along or sister and sama-sama educate diri you so that you dah tak jadi keturunan-keturunan yang meroyan bila investment you down, because investments are supposed to go down and then go up. It's not like ESB tabung haji, dia tak pernah down, dia up je. Okay, so remember apple and orange concept, and you can never merge these two together. I hope to see you on 25th of May. Get your tickets at womenwealthworkshop.com.my. Sama-samalah kita mendidik diri kita so that we can also then teach our next generation and our loved ones.
Register here.